All right, so today we're gonna be talking about a sensitive topic. So, I mean, bikes are inherently dangerous, but I don't want that to be taken out of proportion, because I mean, the same danger you run, riding a bike, you can be riding a car. I don't want to be making a blank statement and saying, oh, I mean, you're just going to die the way you're going to die, because that will be putting yourself in a place where you're not going to be responsible for, the decisions you're making. And I really want to put it in a place where we feel about how we approach things, and we're just responsible for the things we do on a bike. So, and then accepting the fact that the bikes can be dangerous, and then just thinking about it from a different perspective and say, hey, what can I do to enjoy the sport or the hobby that I like so much, and also helping others to understand, the responsibility that comes with it, and at the same time giving a good name for bikers. All right, let's go with me. So, a few years ago, I actually got into a wreck. I rear-ended a car. It wasn't pretty. It was actually pretty hard, because it's one of those things that you're never ready for, and I'm happy that I'm here, to tell you the story. Essentially, I was right behind a car, and a car that was parked on a bike lane actually opened the door in front of me without any notice or anything, and I just didn't have time to react. So I ended up swerving to the left, and I ended up not being able to stop because I lost all the focus and concentration, and the car in front of me actually made a sudden stop, so I was not able to see him, and I ended up re-entering the car. So yep, it was hard, but that's the thing. It doesn't have to be like that. And in retrospective, when I think about what I did that day, and I don't want to say that every accident it's somewhat avoidable, but it's possible. I mean, it's possible to drive and ride in a manner where you can actually be more alert and giving yourself space in order to avoid any difficult situations. And I mean, in case you're wondering, I have been riding for about 11 years, and I've been averaging 10,000 miles a year. So, and I have owned over 40 bikes. So that hopefully put in perspective, the experience that I have riding motorcycles. I'm not saying that I'm an expert. I'm not an expert rider in terms of, racer or drag racer or anything. But I've been around the block a couple times already. So I feel like I know exactly what I'm doing. So, what conclusion can I draw from it? So these are the conclusions I can draw, or the things that I learned that I can apply on my day-to-day ride. So first of all, I mean, if you have a car, like for some time, my bike was my only method of way of move myself around. But if you have a car and you wake up one day and your head is cloudy and like you don't feel your reflexes are in the best place, don't ride. I mean, bikes don't have the same give a car potentially could give you if you make the wrong decision. I mean, you are completely exposed, so you want to be sharp and make sure that there's nothing going on that's actually distracting or pulling from your focus. Second thing is, I don't like riding when I'm in a hurry. So similar to the first point, I like to give myself some time in case I need to take a detour or something happens where I'm not just in the same in the same tension when I'm going, because I'm going to be somewhere late, because bikes can be very fast. And if you use that to your advantage to get somewhere, pretty quickly, you can get into a lot of trouble. And if that get mixed with not having the right skills in order to avoid situations where you need to like pull your brakes, and brake like in a super heavy way, or you have to swerve to avoid a car or something, then you're just gonna be having a bad day if you survive to an accident you could potentially get into. Racing, in my opinion, is for the track. I mean, I know I love to go fast, but I had to learn the hard way that I mean, you're putting a lot of things at risk, and not only yourself but other people when you do that. And using public highways just for racing, it's just not good in my opinion. Map your route. So if you're going somewhere for the first time, don't put yourself in a position where in order to be there, you have to be either looking at a GPS, while you're riding, or trying to like, oh, I think I'm in the right place, but in order for me to confirm, I have to be looking at like street names and kind of pulling away the focus from being able to see what's around me. And I have to really start to pay attention to see if I can even focus on the name of that street. All this time doing this, horrible time for you to be, on a bike on moving traffic, and especially in cases where the traffic there's no barrier and you can easily just like swerve and get into oncoming traffic. Lastly is distractions. Do you remember Scully? Those helmets, were promising the ability to have a lot of information in your visor and that your GPS in a corner and stuff like that. I'm a little bit old-fashioned. And you probably have seen me having my phone, readily available in my bike, which I actually stopped doing last year. I found myself, like, even with notifications turned off sometimes. Looking at my phone when my phone either was ringing or whatever. To be quite honest, I just let my family know I'm gonna be riding. If you call me and I don't answer right away, I probably am on the street and I don't have a way to be pulling up in order so I can answer your call. I have situations where I had Bluetooth where I can just pick up the phone, and I've done it, and I had conversations in the past. But even though I can see and I don't have my vision blocked, I can tell you that conversation is pulling away, from my focus. So my recommendation would be stop, have your call, and come back if your family wants you to come back home. And in the topic of distractions, unless I have a camera or something that I'm just putting to record when I'm stopping, then I start riding or something like that, I try to avoid even having my phone because of the same reasons. Also, I understand a lot of people do touring and they do GPS and whatnot, and sometimes you are in a stretch where it's like hundreds and hundreds of miles, and it might be doable to look down and kind of try to see how far are you and get all that information at a glance in your display. That's a possibility. I get it. And it's possible, but you have to understand, are you capable to doing that? Are you capable to like make sure that you're not losing perspective of what's in front of you? Just be aware of that. At the end of the day, I made this video because I know I'm not covering every topic possible that you can do in order to improve safety, when you are in the street. There's a bunch of things such as training, your bike is in a good place, like tires or stuff like that. So I'm not even getting into that. I'm just talking about more of the mindset and recognizing what it means to be on a bike. And then, controlling the urge of like wanting to like open that throttle and like go as fast as possible. Believe me, I know how that feels. I've done it a lot, but I have to learn the hard way that, that's not the only way that you can do it. And there's some other ways that you can enjoy, being on the bike. I'm so concerned with bikers, giving a bad reputation to the sport, because I think motorcycle, it's a beautiful thing, and you can just can go places and see things from such a different perspective because you have nothing around you. It almost compared to like you driving a car versus driving a convertible car. Like all of a sudden you don't have a roof, so like things are just different. So imagine that on a bike where you are more involved in the way you're like riding, and like, it's just amazing. And I would love for all of us to be able to enjoy that, and to also make sure that we are not just having a lot of people just like dying from accidents that could have been avoided by the fact that they were not able to control themselves. Secondly, I would love for people to really enjoy this thing, because it's an amazing thing that you can do, and you don't have to get on a powerful bike. You just can do it on a scooter, or you can do it on whatever, it doesn't matter. So that's all I care. I care about the sport, I care about you, I care about you going back to your family, and stop seeing all these messages all the time about people dying because of like situations where they were racing and they were crashing. And and I know there's like stuff, not everybody get into trouble because of that. But and there's some unforeseen and a very unfortunate situation that could happen, that can happen anywhere in any sport or any other, you know, type of situation. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I love talking and I love kind of communicating with you, and I love to hear what you have to say. So I don't want to make every video making a modification to my bike, which I love, but sometimes it's not doable. But I love these topics and I love to kind of share these kind of thoughts with you. So let me know what you think. I mean, I want to put stuff out there that matters. I just don't want to make videos just because I want to have like subscribers or whatever. I really want to be part of the community, and I want to be part of the community that you know, not also look at the bike for what they are, but they also, I mean, in terms of like modifications and whatnot, I want to be part of it, and I want to hear from you and see what you think, and hopefully we can kill this cliche. Well, I don't want to say kill, and also put, I mean, remove this whole thing about I mean, the dangers of the bikes, and then just having more of awareness and having a lot of like people enjoying the sport and the hobby that I love. So thank you for watching this video. If I don't get the chance to like have a video before Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. I know I'm dating this video now, but doesn't matter. So we're just a couple of days away from Christmas, so just like Merry Christmas, and I hope you have an awesome time with your family.